Good morning and welcome to the Coach's Corner. Coach Moore, I know that Friday night was not a good night, but the team did a fair job at it. They were up against a good team.
Yeah, we played a good football team with good coaching staff, a program that's been established for many years, and I mean they're a good football team. They have a chance to win a state championship. I mean, I think they've got to be the favorite to win it, and but it was good. It was a good measuring stick where we are and where we're headed.
If you look at Friday night, what do you think the team could have done better?
Well, I mean, we played well in the first half, but in no way am I into moral victories. We got to play better for two halves, and I thought if we did play really well, we were good enough to play with Jackson and give ourselves a chance at the end, and we didn't do that. We didn't come out in the second half. It was 20-14 at halftime, and really we could have had the lead at half. It was a little discouraging. We had a big turnover going in to score to take the lead, and but the beginning of the third quarter was really bad, and we just didn't do a very good job of managing where we were in the game. And then when we came out, we received the kickoff and fumbled it around back there and got it at our own 12-yard line and backed ourselves up. And then we had a punting issue. We got the punt off after a kind of a shaky snap, and the kid returns it to our 20 or so, and then they score, and it just sort of snowballed on us right there. I looked up with about 6 minutes left in the third quarter, and they had scored 3 times already. And you just can't do that. You can't give them extra opportunities, and we did, and we couldn't get a stop defensively. So again, I've had a lot of people come up and tell us how hard we played, but we don't want to have moral victories here. We don't have to do that. I mean, we're excited about the future, but we got to be able to play 4 quarters of football in the playoffs, and we didn't do that in either of the games. And so we got some growing to do still. But again, I'm proud of the kids. I'm proud of where we are so far, but we got a lot of work left.
When you look at your goals for this year, I know you, on the T-shirts, you had next step. I think the school team has done that. I think they've taken a next step.
Well, I think you define your own next step. Each team will define what the next step means for them, and we did. I mean, we certainly did. I mean, the seniors did things. There were real results. I mean, there were, a lot more wins, and they had 4 more wins than they did the previous year. They won a playoff game. They were able to host a playoff game, and so it's been set. The mold has been set. And what's neat about that, I was talking with some of the coaches real late after we got back Friday night or Saturday morning, and we were talking about what the expectations are for each group, and our young kids now will expect nothing less than winning in the playoffs, and that's where you have to be. If you continue to do that each year, then a first round loss is a disappointment. And the expectations continue to grow, and if you're not afraid of those, which there are people that are afraid of expectations, but if my staff's not, our team's not, and if you're not afraid of those, then that becomes a good thing. It's just all in how you look at your expectations. I hope we expect to play deep in the playoffs every year. That's where you want to be as a program, and so again, I'm proud of where we are. But I wish we could have done a little more. And and my staff will have a staff meeting this week, and we don't take any time off. We'll look at our issues and look at the things that we have to do better in the future, and we're going to take a big look at these 7 months that I've been here, and we're going to look at each phase of the program and what we have to do different, and we're going to make those adjustments. I think it starts with me. I've got to find a way to get us deeper in the playoffs. It doesn't matter what players we have. We gotta be playing deep every year, and that's our goal. And we just got to be more consistent. And I'm excited about the off season, because I think that's where you develop your consistency, the continuity of the team, a little bit of toughness, in the weight room and some of the running that we'll do. We'll develop a lot of that stuff, and I'm excited about that because I didn't get a full off season with them. I'm excited about what Coach Johnson will be able to do in the weight room with them. And so it's a again, I keep using the same word, but it's an exciting time because our seniors did lay the foundation for growth, and they showed that our, gosh, I have to look at myself. I'm a first year head coach, or I was, and so I have to look back at that and think, did my model work? And I think it did. I mean, the model worked. I mean, we got better each week. We were better every single week that we played this year. And so that's all you can ask for. Now, what you have to look at is how do we get to the next step, where we are. And, we just have to keep growing and keep improving. And again, it starts with a look at us, and then we'll go from there.
When you go back and look at Friday night's game, one of the things that really stands out, there's a pass to the end zone. It gets tipped by the opposing team, and we get it for a touchdown.
Yeah.
That was a great move.
Well, some of those plays have to be made, in the game if you're going to win a big game like that. And again, we played well enough in the first half of the football game to beat Jackson. We played toe-to-toe with Jackson, and I thought at times outplayed Jackson in the first half of the game, which again is exciting to outplay the number one team in the state for a half of football. But you got to be able to do it for 4 quarters. But yeah, we did make some plays. Our kids, for the most part, came to play. The second half of the Calera game carried over to the first half of the Jackson game. We just got to be able to put it all together, and we will. And but our kids fought. They were not intimidated by the moment. I think that was huge. I don't know if other people look at it the way I do, but for us to go 4 hours away, come get off the bus, play well, go toe-to-toe with a really, really good football team, an established program, which is different than we did like at Benjamin Russell, right? We've made growth there in our mindset and how we are able to handle adversity and handle a crowd and handle a hostile environment. I'm proud of the guys that they were able to do that. So again, our kids won't be afraid anywhere we go from here on out to get off the bus. It doesn't matter what the ranking of the team or anything. I mean, we got off ready to play. We didn't play very good in the second half. So, I think our younger kids will feed off of that and say, hey, this is what we did last year when we got off the bus at Jackson. This is how we're going to do this year when we're playing another good team.
When you look at the fact that we now have strength and conditioning, now you don't do that overnight.
Right.
There's nobody that expects to come out with great big muscles and everything after just this short a period of time. But this strength and conditioning is going to make a difference further down the line.
Well, there's no doubt. I'll tell you where I saw the result. When you're around people every day, you don't really notice the growth or the changes because they're happening so slowly. But when you're away from somebody and you see them again, you can really see the growth. It was kind of unique. This summer we went and Brandon Johnson, our strength and conditioning coordinator, spent 4 years as a strength coach at Opelika. Well, this 4th year is the current group of seniors at Opelika, who are, by the way, 12-0 and are 101-0 in the playoffs against their 2 opponents, and just incredible numbers. We saw those kids this summer. I'd been away from them for about 4 months, and I saw them, and we don't look like that. We don't look like that. I mean, that's the reality. Our Eufaula kids don't look like those kids physically, and they will. And that's what's exciting. We were able to go 9-3 and make it the second round and go toe-to-toe with the number one team in the state for a while, and we don't look that way. And so next year, when we look a good bit better, what are we going to be able to do? Coach Saban always says this is a big people's game. This is big people. If you look at Alabama and LSU's and those guys, they have huge people, and that's the way this has to be. We've got to gain weight. We got to gain muscle mass. The kids always want to ask me, what do we need to eat? No, I said, eat anything you can. Eat everything. Eat everything in your house. You're not going to get fat. You're 16 years old. You go eat a Big Mac or 2. You go drink a milkshake. Doesn't matter. Just eat, take in calories, and then we'll get bigger. And so we'll see those, and so we'll start maxing out and getting their weights and seeing how we can get them bigger. So we will be a much bigger football team next year. Our defensive line returns 3 guys that'll be 270 plus, 280 plus, and so we're going to be a big football team, and that's how you win games. You win with big people. And so Brandon, he obviously knows how to do that. I've seen real results from his work.
When you look at those results, it really is amazing. I know I got tickled. I was talking to Sarge over the weekend. You know what his number one fear was coming up in the future?
What's that?
He said, I hope Coach don't have us play Opelika as a spring game.
Well, yeah, I mean, they're good. Sarge's now become an Opelika fan, too.
Yeah.
So.
Now, Zaki knows what it takes for comfort in a piece of furniture, and Zaki's owners know the value of quality furniture that has been reupholstered at Timbuktu on Dale Road and West Washington Street. Zaki knows that you don't have to go to Timbuktu to get to Timbuktu. Tell him Zaki sent you.
Eufaula Glass and Construction Company, LLC, has been locally owned and operated for more than 30 years. Install shower doors, mirrors, new windows, replacement windows, screen storm windows and doors. We build cloth awnings and aluminum canopies. Need a new storefront for your business? Call a company that can take care of all of your glass needs, including automotive glass. Located at 121 Inlet Road. Call 687-2471. Emergency after-hours service available. Yes,
Anyway.
he has. Kyle?
Coach, you talked about right after the game and even this morning a little bit how you're not there yet.
Yeah.
And I know you kind of took the overall view on it. What are the little things? What in specific do you need to get done? You talked about gaining weight,
Yeah.
getting bigger. Is there? Are you looking for more from one specific unit? Like,
Well, I don't know if it's any phase specifically. I mean, we, and I've said this before, and I hope everybody takes this the right way, we're not consistent enough as people. And what I mean by that is we don't carry ourselves the right way all the time. We worked in that area. We've got two guys, Caleb Galloway and Gary Fleming, that come and help us with our character program, and we're trying to develop them. I mean, ultimately, we're going to have probably a handful of kids that are going to go play college football from this class, but there's going to come a time where, you know, the percentages show that they're not going to be NFL players. I mean, they're going to go to college. The other one's going to get out of high school that aren't going to play college football. They're going to go do something else. You know, who are they going to be when they're done? You know, are they going to be quality people that maybe leave and come back to Eufaula and give something back to this community? Who are they? And that's where we've got to grow. We didn't lose that game. Yeah, we could have been a little stronger, you know, to match Jackson. I thought they were a little stronger than us, a little bit faster than us. But mentally, I thought they were more, when the plays needed to be made, Jackson made them and we didn't. And that was what was different in the ball game. Those first 6 minutes of that third quarter, Jackson came out and played better than us. And I think that's an indication of where we are as far as consistent people, that we can play 2 quarters, but we couldn't play 4. You know, you take away 6 minutes in the third quarter and the game's like 28-20, you know, 28-21 or whatever. We're right in the game. But you can't say that, though. And so I think as an overall program, the number one thing is our mental toughness has to be better. Our consistency on and off the field has to be better. The way that we carry ourselves at practice, the way that we approach meetings, how much time we put into this, you know, outside of the just actual practice time and meeting time. Because the deal is that today, you know, you can go home and watch all the film you want. You can do all the studying that you want. It's got to be important to you. If you go in, and I know a lot of parents don't love this, but if you go home and football was only during football practice, then you're not really getting a ton better. I mean, you have to go home and work at it, study your playbook, study the film on your opponent. Everybody has access to that. And so it's got to be a big priority for us. And we're working on making it that way. You know, I was really encouraged, though, I'll say this, about our practice habits by the end of the year. How many kids we had. I mean, we never had a problem with kids coming to practice. We might have a guy late here or there, especially days when we were out of school. But this past Wednesday, Veterans Day, we had 100% participation and 100% of the kids were there on time. And so we've seen progress in that area, and but that's where we are. I mean, we didn't lose the game because of our physical issues. We lost the game because we didn't mentally stay consistent throughout the game, and in order to do that, our mental toughness has to be so much better. You know, none of the games we lost from a physical standpoint, I don't think. I mean, there were a couple of teams, I thought the 3 losses that we had, the teams were a little bit better than us. I thought they were all just a little bit better. But for the most part, it was a mental lack of consistency for 4 quarters in the game that cost us, and we're going to really work on that part all through the off season. So, but I'm excited about that. Excited about having another extra, 6 more months to get them right mentally, and we'll see the growth after that, I think.
Looking at growth and looking at the class coming up next year, what do you see we should or think we should expect out of the younger guys that are going to be coming into the program and out of our juniors that are going to now be senior? Is the leadership going to be there?
I think it will. I think from top to bottom, we've got some really consistent, mentally tough kids in our junior class. I'm excited about their progress. We got a large junior class again. So we were really old this year. We had 23 seniors and 23 juniors. And so we're going to have another big senior class. And, it's a good class. There are a lot of big kids in the class, a lot of big D linemen and big linebackers. So it's a good class. We've seen our younger class really develop with our 9th grade program, the addition of our 9th grade program, and playing those games and playing really tough opponents. All of our 9th grade team opponents were bigger schools. There were 3 6As and a 7A that we played this year. We played 4 9th grade games in a newly instated program. And so that'll help. Those kids have played a lot of football. And, we were also blessed that we won some games big. It's the first time I read in the paper, first time since 30-something that we'd scored 60 points 3 times in a year. And we scored 63 times and 50 once. And and then 48, and we scored a lot of points. And when you do that, you get a lot of kids in the game. And so our younger kids, we've got 2 freshman running backs that have scored varsity touchdowns. We have a freshman quarterback that's completed varsity balls. Against Benjamin Russell on the road. He completes a couple of balls on. That's a big deal. For those kids to play in those environments and to get them ready. And I think that is really going to help us. And what was kind of unique to me is that after the game, our seniors were very upset about the loss, obviously, and they, it's kind of a surreal feeling knowing that this is your last time playing, and for a lot of them, and this is my last time I'll ever put on this helmet and that kind of deal. But our freshmen were broken. It was unique. I'd never seen that before. It just tells me that they enjoyed the game, that we made it fun enough that they wanted to continue playing, and they were bawling their eyes out after the game. I've got a 14-year-old that's crying, and he's got 3 more years. But it just means that they're bought in. They're our guys. That's going to be important. I'm eager to see 3 years from now when those guys are seniors that what kind of program we'll have. But they are our guys, and it was exciting. I am excited about the future. We've got some kids that are really going to be special. But at the same time, when you lose 23 seniors, we got a lot of holes to fill now. That's just the truth. And I hope, I hope our expectations are really high, but everybody's got to be realistic, in the same time that, we got a lot of work left. We got some guys that have to develop. We're losing Justin Warren, we're losing Jay Johnson, we're losing, Farmer, the big tackle, we're losing James Walker, the big tackle, we're losing our center. You're just losing some really key positions. I think next year, defensively, we'll be better. I think we'll be better on defense than we were this year because of an extra year in the program, although we are losing our leading tacklers and sack guys. But just overall, I think we'll be better. Offensively, Coach Johnson and I have got our work cut out for us. I can tell you that. We got to find a way to score points after losing a lot of kids. But we'll do it. We'll figure it out. And, spring is going to be a battle because our defensive line will be a good bit better than our offensive line at that point, with us really losing 4 seniors that played. 4 out of the 6 guys that played a lot of football we're losing. So, our defensive line's bringing them all back. So it'll be, I'll be a little frustrated in the spring, but no, we've got a lot of holes to fill, but we'll do it. We'll do it. We're going to have a year to do it, and that's our job to figure it out.
When you look at the games that were tight this year, especially when we were having a tough time in the first half and excelled in the second half, I know that a couple of times, at least once I know that for a fact, that you just got the coaches and told them, let's walk out of the room and let's let the seniors handle this. And they did. They did.
It was a good class. It's a good, strong class. It's one that Kyle asked me Friday night, what they mean to me. Obviously, they're my first class of players to ever come through as a head coach, and so they'll be special to me. I was telling Kyle I got a poster of them that Luann Dollar made, and I'm gonna have it framed and put up in my office, and it'll be there forever, just because they are special to me and these coaches. But yeah, we gave them. I mean, this is their team. It's not, coaches. This is about Eufaula. It's not. Coaches come and go. Unfortunately, but tradition doesn't. And so those guys play for Eufaula. They, it means a lot to them. A lot of them grew up here. Most of them grew up here, and it's their team. If they wanted to continue playing in the playing in the second round after the clear game, well, heck, they had to get it fixed. It wasn't a scheme issue. I'll tell you when it's a scheme issue. It wasn't anything that we were doing. We just weren't playing very good. We weren't tackling well. We didn't block very well up front, and we were getting our tails kicked. And so for them to come in at half, I did address the team. I told them, this could be the last time that they would play. But then I told them, you got 2 minutes. Senior leaders, senior captains, say something to the team and come out in 2 minutes. And I said, coaches, I want you out of here. And I want these guys to have this time, because it's their decision. They were asking me Friday if I was nervous about going to Jackson. On Friday, I'm not really nervous because my work is done.
They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. Take, for example, the pictures you get at Trustmark's Deposit Express ATM. See, Deposit Express prints pictures of all your deposited checks right there on your receipt, so you can be 100% certain that you entered everything correctly. No doubt, no wondering, no worries. And I can sum up that feeling with just one word: cool.
Trustmark Bank, member FDIC.
Eufaula Board of Trade, where you'll find the best value in our 3,600 square feet of uncluttered air-conditioned space. Eufaula Board of Trade, wonderful treasures that now have a second chance at 327 East Barber Street, featuring antiques, baby items, furniture that needs a new home, jewelry, collectibles, and books, plus much, much more. Open 7 days a week. Eufaula Board of Trade, 327 East Barber Street, where value and quality go hand in hand.
That's over with. It's on the kids. I mean, and I say that the right way. I'll give them every chance I can to help them and try and figure out a way to win. But ultimately, they got to go play. And so it's always exciting to see when you have a response like that, when a senior class steps up and you have captains that step up. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they said either. People are asking me I don't know. I mean, that's why I went out and closed the door. Let them do their thing and rally their team, because it's their team, their time. And they made the most of it. I really believe that. They made the most of their time, and they got to play 12 games, and they did something that hadn't been done in 4 years, and really had a quality football team.
And that's the one thing we need to emphasize, is the fact this is a quality football team. No matter what happened Friday night, it doesn't change the character, it doesn't change the strength or anything about this team.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, good kids and good leadership, but yeah, definitely a quality team.
Mm-hmm. Kyle?
I just want to tell Coach Moore how much fun it's been this year. Been a pleasure to get to know you and this Eufaula team. It's been a lot of fun.
Well, I appreciate
Good
that.
kids too.
They are. I mean, I didn't know what to expect, and these things just sort of piece themselves together for like all of us coming together and doing this show, and things just fell into place, and we're blessed to be here, and my family and I really love it, and the town has been so good to us, and there's been so much that our administration have done that people don't know about. I mean, they let our whole school system out at 1 o'clock Friday to come to the game, and we traveled really well, and it was exciting for me. I was just kind of walking by the fan bus, and one of the coaches mentioned, hey, they were getting ready to leave, and so I jumped on the fan bus and just told them how much I appreciated them, because people don't understand that without them, without us, if we had looked up in those stands and seen that crowd, and there had been 40 people there, like unfortunately I've seen for other teams coming here, and it's a shame really that people don't follow that team better, then I don't know that we would have had the energy we had in the first half of that game, because once we scored, that thing got loud. I mean, our fans really got loud, and that was so exciting for our kids to look and say, we filled up an away side 4 hours away. And that's just encouraging. It's encouraging because you can't. I don't care what kind of coach you are. I don't care what kind of players you have. If you don't have support from everybody in your town, from the fans to the administration, everybody to your teachers, you can't be successful. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can't be successful because kids feed off of that. And so I've been blessed to be here. We're in a good place with a lot of good kids, and it's been a good year. And again, I keep saying this, and I'll keep on saying it, but next year has to be a better year. We can't be satisfied with a little bit of success. We want a lot of success. Eufaula doesn't have to settle for 9-3. We don't have to. That's not enough for us. I mean, again, we're excited, and what our senior class did was really, really impressive relative to the success that they've had the last 3 years. But this year was really successful. But next year has to be better, and for us to do that, we can't be complacent. We have to go back to work and treat it just like a day one mentality, where the first day I come into work, and you know how people are, the first day they come into work, they're going to impress everybody. Every day has to be day one for us. Every day we have to come in and grind and see how much better we can get and compete with each other and just continue to grow as a program, continue to grow as people, continue to grow as a staff and as a school as a whole. I had a coach tell me that, Coach McCracken told me this years ago. He said that, whenever your football team is really successful, your school is really successful. Because it sets the tone for the year. Like, everybody's positive. We're winning. Everybody's coming to the game. Everybody's positive. The players are on board. All the teachers are on board with what's going on. They know that we're taking care of the kids and disciplining the kids when they don't act right in class and those kind of deals. And it just carries over to the whole school. And we're seeing that. We're seeing our school get better too along the way. And I'm proud of that as well, because ultimately, I've got Parker, my oldest, he's in the system now. He's in Eufaula City Schools, and so I want this school to be as good as it can as well. And so I'm proud to be here, proud to be in Eufaula, and I've seen so many great things happen already.
One of the things that I'd like to mention, and it starts with the school superintendents all the way down through the school board. The facilities we have at this school, and I think Kyle can attest to this, when we visit press boxes at other schools, it is amazing the facilities that we have.
Right.
Now, we look at it sometimes, no, we don't have like Troy University, but we're never going to have like Troy University.
Yeah, this is a very, and I said this before too, the bones of this place have always been here. There was some makeup. We had to put on some things that we had to do a little better job of maintaining this or maintaining that, and we have. Our practice field needed a bunch of work, and I wish I had taken some before and after pictures, but it's gotten a lot better. We've had some help from the city of tearing some structures down that needed to go. So we've had a lot of help there. The front of the school, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but they've done a lot of work there on the front of the school with some landscaping things. And so we're getting there. We're getting it back to where it needs to be. And our locker room, we're working on it all the time. And so because a lot of times, if you have and the bones of it there, but you don't really keep it up, kids don't take pride in it. They don't see what it could be, and we're working on that, and our kids are taking more pride in their lockers, and I've seen things be more organized. I'm on them about that, about where their shoulder pads sit, helmets sit. But we have nice facilities. We got to take care of them.
One of the things that we need to switch over to real quick, starting tonight, there is something else going on.
Yep. Basketball's on us.
It really is.
And I tell you what, talking about new things, I'm excited to see what Coach Smith is going to do. He's had a lot of success here. Everybody knows him and have a whole bunch of respect for him, and as a man and as a coach. And I'm eager to see. I'm eager to see what our product is. I think it's going to be really good. What's been exciting, I said this before, I'd love to take the records of all the teams and compare them to a year ago, because I think our kids have gotten so much better and grown, and the coaches that we've hired and the coaches that were here have worked so hard over the summer. Our volleyball team went to Super Regionals, and that was unbelievable. I mean, for Jackie's first year, Coach Tate's first year, to go there, and Kirsten Hawkins is helping as well. And then football obviously have made some strides, and now, you know, what's basketball going to do? What are the girls going to do? And you know, and even, you know, cross country, you know, and tennis, and I'm eager to see all of our sports. And baseball, how are they going to improve? And softball, of course, Coach Clemens does a great job with them. But what is our overall record, you know, compared to last year? I'm really eager to see that. And then every year, how are we going to grow? You know, how are we going to grow on that? I know that the kids are going to get all the character they need, because our coaches are high character people. We didn't hire a single person, and there's not one left here from years past that's not a high character person. I can promise you that. And so they're going to get that part of it and be around a good role model and a good person. And then now, you know, how are you going to produce? You know, because ultimately that's our deal now. We got to be able to produce and win, and I know that we will.
I'm really looking forward to basketball. We're going to try to do a game a week on the average.
Yeah.
We're already working on that. We can't do tonight's game because we've got city council and an interview for superintendent that we've committed to.
Right.
But we're going to be in here. We're going to be doing it.
Well, and it needs to be put out there. You know, I never understood why, you know, even at Opelika, why we only did a couple games, you know, here and there. You know, I understand you can't do every night. Basketball plays all the time, but you gotta put their names out there. I mean, I always really enjoyed listening to it when Opelika would travel, and I didn't. I loved sitting at home and listening to it. And so, you know, I'll probably be a part of that at some point too, a part of the broadcast. I love basketball. I was a basketball coach for, I can't remember, 5 or 6 years, a long time, and was a head boys basketball coach at Opelika, so I have a bunch of respect for that, and really, really enjoy the game, and can't wait to see our kids play.
Well, I want to tell you, it has been a pleasure working with the football program this year. You've made it pleasurable. Kyle has just helped us immensely with doing the show here with us and everything else, and we appreciate what the Trib is doing, continuing promoting this program. And anybody that wants to promote it, I'm in favor of.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I appreciate all you guys have done as well.
Well, thank you very much, and we've just got one thing to say. Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
Ladies, unlock the cash value in your jewelry box. Sell your gold on Dale Road. We buy gold jewelry, bent or broken, at Eufaula Flea Market, 354 Dale Road.
Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Mr. Pond buys gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road. Sell your gold on Dale Road.